Melakim 1, 1 Kings chapter 12. And Rehab'am went to Shechem, for all Yisra'el had gone to Shechem to appoint him to reign. And it came to be when Yarob'am, son of Nebat, heard this, he was still in Mitzrayim, for he had fled from the presence of sovereign Shlomo, and he had been dwelling in Mitzrayim, that they sent and called him. And Yarob'am and all the assembly of Yisra'el came and spoke to Rehab'am, saying, Your father made our yoke hard, and now lighten the hard service of your father, and his heavy yoke which he put on us, then we serve you. And he said to them, Go away for 3 days, then come back to me. And the people went. Then sovereign Rehab'am consulted the elders who stood before his father Shlomo while he still lived, and he said, What do you advise me to answer these people? And they spoke to him, saying, If you are a servant to these people today, and shall serve them, and shall answer them, and speak good words to them, then they shall be your servants all the days. But he ignored the advice the elders gave him, and consulted the young men who had grown up with him, who stood before him. And he said to them, What advice do you give? How should we answer this people, who have spoken to me, saying, Lighten the yoke which your father put on us? And the young men who had grown up with him spoke to him, saying, Say to this people who have spoken to you, saying, Your father made our yoke heavy, but you make it lighter on us. Say this to them, My little finger is thicker than my father's waist, and now my father laid a heavy yoke on you, but I add to your yoke. My father flogged you with whips, but I flog you with scourges. So Yarob'am and all the people came back to Rehoboam the 3rd day, as the sovereign had spoken, saying, Come back to me the 3rd day. But the sovereign answered the people harshly, and ignored the advice which the elders had given him, and he spoke to them according to the advice of the young men, saying, My father made your yoke heavy, but I add to your yoke. My father flogged you with whips, but I flog you with scourges. So the sovereign did not listen to the people, for the turn of events was from Yahuah, in order to establish his word, which Yahuah had spoken to Ahiah the Shilonite, to Yarob'am son of Nebat. And all Yisrael saw that the sovereign did not listen to them. Then the people answered the sovereign, saying, What portion do we have in David? And there is no inheritance in the son of Yishai. To your tents, O Yisra'el! Now see to your own house, O David. So Yisra'el went to their tents. But as for the children of Yisra'el who dwelt in the cities of Yahudah, Rehoboam reigned over them. And when sovereign Rehoboam sent Adon, who was over the compulsory labor, all Yisrael stoned him with stones, and he died. And sovereign Rehoboam hastily mounted his chariot to flee to Jerusalem. Thus Yisrael revolted against the house of David to this day. And it came to be, when all Yisrael heard that Yarob'am had come back, they sent for him and called him to the congregation, and appointed him to reign over all Yisrael. There was none who followed the house of David, except the tribe of Yahudah only. And Rehoboam came to Jerusalem, and he assembled all the house of Yahudah with the tribe of Benjamin, 180,000 chosen men of battle, to fight against the house of Yisrael, to bring back the reign to Rehoboam, son of Shlomo. But the word of Elohim came to Shemaiah, the man of Elohim, saying, Speak to Rehoboam, son of Shlomo, sovereign of Yahudah, and to all the house of Yahudah and Benjamin, and to the rest of the people, saying, Thus said Yahuah, Do not go up or fight against your brothers, the children of Yisrael. Let every man return to his house, for this matter is from me. So they obeyed the word of Yahuah, and turned back according to the word of Yahuah. And Yarob'am built Shechem in the mountains of Ephraim, and dwelt there. And he went out from there and built Penuel. And Yarob'am said in his heart, Now the reign shall return to the house of David. If these people go up to do slaughterings in the house of Yahuah at Jerusalem, then the heart of this people shall turn back to their master Rehoboam, sovereign of Yahudah, and they shall slay me and go back to Rehoboam, sovereign of Yahudah. So the sovereign took counsel and made 2 calves of gold and said to the people, "It is too much for you to go up to Jerusalem. See your mighty ones, O Yisra'el, which brought you up from the land of Mitzrayim." And he put up one in Bethel, and the other he put in Dan. And this matter became a sin, for the people went before the one as far as Dan. And he made the house of high places, and made priests from all sorts of people who were not of the sons of Levi. And Yarob'am performed a festival on the 15th day of the 8th month, like the festival that was in Yahudah, and he offered on the altar. So he did at Bethel, slaughtering to the calves that he had made. And at Bethel he appointed the priests of the high places which he had made. And he made offerings on the altar which he had made at Bethel on the 15th day of the 8th month, in the month which he had devised in his own heart. And he performed a festival for the children of Yisra'el, and offered on the altar, and burned incense. Melakim 1, 1 Kings chapter 13. And see, a man of Elohim went from Yahudah to Bethel by the word of Yahuah, while Yarob'am was standing by the altar to burn incense. And he cried out against the altar by the word of Yahuah, and said, "O altar, altar, thus said Yahuah, see, a son is to be born to the house of David, Yoshiyahu is his name, and on you he shall offer the priests of the high places who burn incense on you, and men's bones be burned on you." And he gave a sign the same day, saying, "This is the sign which Yahuah has spoken. See, the altar is split apart, and the ashes on it are poured out." And it came to be, when sovereign Yarob'am heard the saying of the man of Elohim who cried out against the altar in Bethel, that he stretched out his hand from the altar, saying, "Seize him!" Then his hand which he stretched out toward him dried up, so that he was unable to bring it back to him. And the altar was split apart, and the ashes poured out from the altar, according to the sign which the man of Elohim had given by the word of Yahuah. And the sovereign answered and said to the man of Elohim, "Please appease the face of Yahuah your Elohim, and pray for me, that my hand might be restored to me." And the man of Elohim appeased the face of Yahuah, and the sovereign's hand was restored to him, and it became as it was before. The sovereign then said to the man of Elohim, "Come home with me and refresh yourself, and I give you a gift." But the man of Elohim said to the sovereign, "If you were to give me half your house, I do not go in with you, nor do I eat bread nor drink water in this place. For so he commanded me by the word of Yahuah, saying, do not eat bread nor drink water, nor return by the same way you came." So he went another way, and did not return by the way he came to Bethel. And a certain old Nevi was dwelling in Bethel, and his sons came and told him all the works that the man of Elohim had done that day in Bethel, the words which he had spoken to the sovereign. And their father said to them, "Which way did he go?" And his sons had seen which way the man of Elohim went, who came from Yahudah. And he said to his sons, "Saddle the donkey for me." And they saddled the donkey for him, and he rode on it, and went after the man of Elohim, and found him sitting under a terebinth. And he said to him, "Are you the man of Elohim who came from Yahudah?" And he said, "I am." And he said to him, "Come home with me and eat bread." And he said, "I am not able to return with you, or to go in with you, nor am I to eat bread or drink water with you in this place. For word came to me by the word of Yahuah, do not eat bread nor drink water there, nor return by going the way you came." And he said to him, "I too am a Nevi like you, and a messenger spoke to me by the word of Yahuah, saying, bring him back with you to your house, and let him eat bread and drink water." But he lied to him. So he turned back with him and ate bread in his house and drank water. And it came to be as they sat at the table that the word of Yahuah came to the Nevi who had brought him back. And he cried out to the man of Elohim who came from Yahudah, saying, Thus said Yahuah, because you have rebelled against the mouth of Yahuah, and have not guarded the command which Yahuah your Elohim commanded you, and turned back and ate bread and drank water in the place of which he said to you, Do not eat bread nor drink water. Your body shall not enter the burying place of your fathers. And it came to be, after he had eaten bread and after he had drunk, that he saddled the donkey for him, for the Nevi whom he had brought back. And he went, and a lion met him on the way, and killed him. And his body was thrown on the way, and the donkey was standing by it, and the lion was standing by the body. And see, men were passing by, and saw the body thrown on the way, while the lion was standing by the body. And they went and reported it in the city where the old Nevi dwelt. And the Nevi who had brought him back from the way heard it, and said, It is the man of Elohim who rebelled against the word of Yahuah, and Yahuah gave him to the lion, and it tore him apart and killed him, according to the word of Yahuah which he spoke to him. And he spoke to his sons, saying, Saddle the donkey for me. And they saddled it. So he went and found his body thrown on the way, and the donkey and the lion standing by the body. The lion had not eaten the body, nor mauled the donkey. And the Nevi lifted up the body of the man of Elohim and placed it on the donkey and brought it back. And the old Nevi came to the city to mourn and to bury him. And he placed his body in his own tomb. And they lamented over him, saying, Oh, my brother. And it came to be, after he had buried him, that he spoke to his son, saying, When I am dead, then you shall bury me in the tomb where the man of Elohim is buried. Lay my bones beside his bones. For the word which he cried out by the word of Yahuah against the altar in Bethel, and against all the houses of the high places which are in the cities of Shamaron, shall certainly come to be. After this event, Yarob'am did not turn from his evil way, but again he made priests from all sorts of people for the high places. Whoever desired he ordained to become one of the priests of the high places. And this matter was the sin of the house of Yarob'am, even to cut it off and destroy it from the face of the earth. Melakim 1, 1 Kings chapter 14. At that time, Aviah, the son of Yarob'am, became sick, and Yarob'am said to his wife, Please arise and disguise yourself so that they do not know you are the wife of Yarob'am, and go to Shiloh. See, Achiah the Nevi is there, who spoke that I would be sovereign over this people. And you shall take with you 10 loaves and cakes and a jar of honey, and go to him. Let him declare to you what becomes of the child. And Yarob'am's wife did so, and rose up and went to Shiloh, and came to the house of Achiah. But Achiah was unable to see, for his eyes had dimmed because of his age. And Yahuah had said to Achiah, See, the wife of Yarob'am is coming to ask you a word about her son, for he is sick. Speak to her thus and thus, for it shall be when she comes in that she makes herself strange. And it came to be, when Achiah heard the sound of her footsteps as she came through the door, he said, Come in, wife of Yarob'am. Why are you making yourself strange? And I have been sent to you with heaviness. Go say to Yarob'am, Thus said Yahuah, Elohim of Yisra'el, Because I exalted you from among the people, and made you ruler over my people Yisra'el, and tore the reign away from the house of David, and gave it to you. And you have not been as my servant David, who guarded my commands, who followed me with all his heart, to do only what was right in my eyes. But you have done more evil than all who were before you, for you have gone and made for yourself other mighty ones, and molded images to provoke me, and cast me behind your back. Therefore, see, I am bringing evil to the house of Yarob'am, and shall cut off from Yarob'am every male in Yisra'el, whether shut up or left at large, and sweep away the remnant of the house of Yarob'am as one sweeps away dung until it is all gone. Those of Yarob'am who die in the city the dogs eat, and those who die in the field the birds of the Shamayim eat, for Yahuah has spoken it. And you, arise, go to your house. When your feet enter the city, the child shall die, and all Yisra'el shall mourn for him and bury him, for he is the only one of Yarob'am who shall come to the grave, because in him there is found a good report toward Yahuah, Elohim of Yisra'el, in the house of Yarob'am. And Yahuah shall raise up for himself a sovereign over Yisra'el, who cuts off the house of Yarob'am this day and even now. And Yahuah shall smite Yisra'el as a reed is shaken in the water, and shall pluck Yisra'el from this good land which he gave to their fathers, and shall scatter them beyond the river, because they made their Asherim, provoking Yahuah. And he shall give Yisra'el up because of the sins of Yarob'am, who sinned and who made Yisra'el sin. And the wife of Yarob'am rose up and went and came to Tirzah. When she came to the threshold of the house, the child died, and they buried him, and all Yisra'el lamented for him, according to the word of Yahuah, which he spoke through his servant Ahiah the Nevi. And the rest of the acts of Yarob'am, how he fought and how he reigned, see, they are written in the book of the annals of the sovereigns of Yisra'el. And the days that Yarob'am reigned was 22 years. So he slept with his fathers, and Nadav, his son, reigned in his place. Meanwhile, Rehoboam, son of Shalomo, reigned in Yahudah. Rehoboam was 41 years old when he became sovereign, and he reigned 17 years in Jerusalem, the city which Yahuah had chosen out of all the tribes of Yisra'el to put his name there. And his mother's name was Naamah the Ammonitess. And Yahudah did evil in the eyes of Yahuah, and they provoked him to jealousy with their sins which they committed, more than all that their fathers had done. For they also built for themselves high places and pillars and asherim on every high hill and under every green tree. And there were also cult prostitutes in the land. They did according to all the abominations of the Gentiles, which Yahuah dispossessed before the children of Israel. And it came to be in the 5th year of sovereign Rehoboam that Shishak, sovereign of Mizraim, came up against Jerusalem, and he took away the treasures of the house of Yahuah and the treasures of the sovereign's house. He even took away all, and he took away all the shields of gold which Shlomo had made. And sovereign Rehoboam made shields of bronze to replace them, and entrusted them into the hands of the chiefs of the guard who guarded the entrance of the sovereign's house. And it came to be, whenever the sovereign went into the house of Yahuah, the guards would bring them, then take them back into the guard room. And the rest of the acts of Rehoboam and all that he did, are they not written in the book of the annals of the sovereigns of Yahudah? And there was fighting between Rehoboam and Yarob'am all the days. So Rehoboam slept with his fathers and was buried with his fathers in the city of David. And the name of his mother was Naamah the Ammonitess, and Aviam his son reigned in his place.